Parlo direttamente in inglese così saltiamo un passaggio di traduzioni. Avete tanto tutti la cuffietta. Good morning to everybody. Welcome to Sharon Stone, to the TorinoFilmFestival. I just make a small talk question and then the press conference will be conducted by Gianluca Pisacane. And so the small talk is, how are you having a good time in Turin?
Yes, I love it here.
Yesterday you make a big tour and...
Yes.
All right. Anything that may help you with wire thing? All right. Okay, perfect. And so let's talk about especially the movie. You are here especially to present the movie today, The Quick and the Dead.
Yes.
What is your vivid memory of that movie?
Well, of course, I had my great Italian cinematographer, Dante Spinotti. And I was very blessed to produce this film and to have the opportunity to cast this film. The director, Sam Raimi, who I had an opportunity to bring from B movies to A movies, and then he directed Spider-Man and became a very big A movie director. I brought Russell Crowe from Australia. I had the opportunity to cast Leo DiCaprio and bring him into a big leading role. And I really enjoyed producing. I love producing. And so that was very successful for me, and I enjoyed that a lot.
Grazie mille, grazie Giulio.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Giulio. Sharon Stone was awarded with the prize Stella della Mole during the opening ceremony of this edition of TorinoFilmFestival.
In italiano, Pronti a morire.
Saying
E la proiezione ufficiale sarà a Romano 2 oggi alle 14. Faccio una domanda io di rito, poi dopo vi passo subito la parola. Ricevere la Stella della Mole, che cosa ha significato per lei e come sente che si sta sviluppando anche il suo legame con l'Italia?
Your connection and bond to Italy is developing?
Well, when I was a kid, when I was 19, I moved to Milan and I became a model. So I began my early career in Italy. And of course, with an Italian boyfriend.
Good
choice.
Very good choice, yeah.
So io parlo un po' italiano e mi prova, ma non bella. And I love, who doesn't love Italian food? Come on. Yeah. And I loved it here, and I've always been coming back to Italy all my life. And I brought my kids here when they were little, and we took them to a gelato making place, and they got to make ice cream, and I took them to a pizza place, and they got to make pizza. And I wanted them to start to understand the Italian culture, the rich Italian culture. And now I'm going to have a painting show hosted by the municipality of Rome in Arapaci in the spring. And then in November, I'm coming here in Torino to have a painting show during the Biennale.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Abbiamo una domanda lì in terza fila.
Hello, good morning. Normally you are an actress, a model, a producer, and now a painter. What is the best...
And a writer.
And a writer. So you everything, and everything you do is perfect. So what is, in your opinion, is the best way to express emotions, feelings, or I mean, in the art field? Which is the field you prefer?
Honestly. And I think particularly at this time in the world, when we have so many diverse ideas about ourselves and have so many conflicts in the world, I think that communication and honesty is the key, and that art is the most beautiful way that we can non-politically express our feelings and emotions. And we think a lot about, oh, what can change in a capitalistic society? We forget that the world was once run by kings. Everything can change. Everything can change when people express how they feel through writing, through theater, through the arts, through painting, through poetry, through film. This is really the only way we have ever been able to gracefully and intelligently express ourselves without violence.
Buongiorno Sharon.
Good morning, Sharon. I have two questions, one on Martin Scorsese and the other one is about Sam Raimi. Can you talk about your cooperation with them? And can you explain what type of filmmakers are there on set? About The Quick and the Dead, did you also work on the script? And why did you choose Sam Raimi, who was up to that moment just a cult filmmaker? Thank you.
Well, I would say in Sam Raimi's case, I really liked his films. I thought he was very intelligent and very funny. Different from Marty Scorsese. Marty, because he's Italian, he has loyalty. He has that family feeling. And because of it, Marty and I still have a relationship. And because of it, Marty and I still work together. Sam was a kid, and he doesn't have loyalty. He doesn't have family. He didn't never talk to me again. He didn't thank me. He didn't hire me again. He didn't acknowledge the relationship. Marty, because I worked so hard and because I admired him so much, our relationship continues to today. There is depth. There is that Italian, it's just that Italian thing. You know, in Italy, when you go to make dinner, you go to the store, you buy your fruit from one guy, you buy your meat from one guy, you buy your fish from another guy, and these people are the people you go to. They're your people. Italians, we have, you know, my culture is both English and deeply French. We have these, I don't know how to explain it, almost genetic, familial cultures, right? We believe in each other. We work together. We stay in our, we love each other. We fight together. We stay together. And it's important. And Marty has that. Thank you very much.
Grazie mille, Fulvia. Le sta arrivando il microfono? Sì, sì, se no voce stentoria.
Salve.
Hi. I'd like to ask you something. Tomorrow is the day against violence on women on the 25th of November. So I would like to hear your comment on the problem of violence on women, against women, which is a growing problem in the world and in Italy as well, everywhere. What is the present state of the art? And what do you think we still need to do to try and stop it? The second thing is, TorinoFilmFestival is a festival which was created for young cinema, debuting filmmakers, the first time filmmakers, second time filmmakers. What do you think this generation of filmmakers should have? What's the goal that new debuting filmmakers should have and aim at?
This the question of violence against women is, it's a big one. And I think we have to really stop and think about things. And we have to stop and think about who we choose for government. And if, in fact, we are actually choosing our government, or if the government is choosing itself. You know, Italy has seen fascism. Italy has seen these things. You guys, you understand what happens. You have seen this before. My country is in its adolescence. Adolescence is very arrogant. Adolescence thinks it knows everything. Adolescence is naive and ignorant and arrogant. And we are in our ignorant, arrogant adolescence. We haven't seen this before in our country. So Americans who don't travel, who 80% don't have a passport, who are uneducated, are in their extraordinary naivete. What I can say is that the only way that we can help with these issues is to help each other. Now, we can't just say that women should help women, because that's the only way we have survived so far. We must say that good men must help good men, and those good men must be very aware that a lot of your friends are not good men. And you can't continue to pretend that your friends are good men when they are not good men. And you must be very clear-minded and understand that your friends who are not good men are dangerous, violent men, and you have to keep them away from your daughters, your wives, and your girlfriends. Because this is a time when we can no longer look away when bad men are bad. I was watching a comedian the other night, and he said, I asked a woman to dinner, and she said yes. And it was such a brave thing for her to do. Because the only real thing, the number one killer of women in the world today is men. For men, the number one killer is heart disease. The number one killer for women is men. It is very important to remember that, men. Very important to remember that. Thank you.
The second.
In terms of the young directors, art is art, and we can never inform an artist about what they are supposed to make. We make what we feel, but what we can do is express our feelings honestly, genuinely, and openly. And older men, you can share. You can share your truth, not your ego, not your hope for your identity, but your truth with younger artists. Thank you.
Grazie mille, abbiamo una domanda là.
Sharon, I think you are probably the most intelligent actress. You have a very high IQ. And I would like to know, how do you embrace the new technologies? Thinking about Elon Musk, the robots which are going to enter our homes, and maybe the actors not needed in the future anymore. Do you see it as a threat or a chance?
Well, first of all, I don't think it's going to end our home, and I don't think it's going to end film, and I don't think it's going to end everything, just like microwaves didn't kill us and didn't make us sterile. I think that technology will forever change, and things will forever change. But, you know, AI can make shitty scripts and shitty music and easy, low-end things, and it will take over functionary things. but it's not going to take over human emotion. It's not going to take over human reality. It's not. I mean, The Jetsons was on television in the 50s, and we're still fine. I think there is quite a lot of overreaction to AI. I think functionally it's going to help us with some of the functionary things. But I think just if we look at it from a functionary standpoint, I don't feel I'm going to be replaced by AI.
Grazie mille.
I have a question. Artist, producer, actress, model, writer, why don't you ever direct a movie?
After I produced The Quick and the Dead, I came to the studio, I asked for $14 million. I had a script, I had the music, I had everything. I pitched it everywhere. I was told it was the best pitch anyone ever heard, but really, a woman, a woman. And ultimately, in my period in the 90s and the early 2000s, the resistance to women working, to me working, was so great that I couldn't get back to direct. And that was unfortunate, but I feel that my intelligence was wasted trying to convince lesser intelligent studio heads to allow me to direct. So they asked me to come and help them cast movies at studios, which I did because obviously I was very good at producing. I just feel the resistance to women having power, the resistance to me having power was very big. And the resistance to allowing my intelligence to be helpful has been enormous. And by people of lesser intelligence. And that's obviously less intelligent. So what am I going to do? Fight with people to allow me to do things they don't want me to do? No. I have other things to do. Yeah.
Grazie mille.
Thank you very much. I have a question. While, how is Sharon Stone as a viewer? What do you like and watch in cinemas? How is Sharon Stone as a viewer? What do you like to go and watch in cinemas, and what do you like to watch on TV?
I watch a little bit of everything and a lot of what is very interesting. I really like Scandinavian and Norwegian, Finnish television. I think it's very, very advanced. But of course, the culture is very advanced. The culture is very sophisticated. I love film, obviously. I'm obsessed with film. I try to watch every film I've never seen. I try to see every film ever made. Right now, there's not a lot on television because of COVID and the strikes. So there isn't a lot of new things to watch. I miss some of the greats. I miss Bertolucci so much. Really one of the true geniuses of filmmaking. Yeah.
Thank you.
A question that goes already in a movie theater where we present The Quick and the Dead. Because you produced the movie, did you decide the role, the character? Did you discuss with Sam Raimi? Did you cast yourself, or was something that was already there?
I was cast by the studio. I was offered the film, and I had to negotiate my fee because they had never paid a woman over, I think, $1 million at that point. And it was a difficult negotiation because they never wanted to pay women over the ceiling of $1 million. And, you know, I made $500,000 on Basic Instinct, and Michael made $14 million. And I thought, gee, I should make over $1 million at this point. fairly, but this was a very big issue.
Non vedo mani alzate, quindi mi indicano di là. Ah, un'altra domanda, eccoci.
Lei ha partecipato a un episodio di The Young Pope di Paolo Sorrentino. Ha intenzione ancora di fare serie televisive?
Yes, I do. In fact, I'm in the process right now. We've optioned a book and hired an amazing writer, Dara Resnick, and she is writing the treatment for a series at the moment.
Thank you. Come pensa che sia cambiato il cinema da quando
How do you think that cinema has changed since you made The Quick and the Dead?
Well, we are in digital now, for starters, so we can shoot fast and we don't have to cut, and the lighting is so much easier, and it's really exciting. I just finished a movie with Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember the movie Nobody that just came out. We just did the sequel, which was wonderful, and I just did a movie, another film, a dramedy, really great with Mark Maron. Filmmaking is just so different now. It's so exciting, it's so fast. And you can make a movie that used to take 3 to 5 months, you can make in 6 weeks. It's really thrilling. It really moves now.
Yeah. Thank you. Avevamo una domanda là? Andrea, avevi... Sì, ok.
Sì, buongiorno.
Good morning. I have a question about what you are outside of cinema, all of your commitment, engagement, also in your personal battles and social battles and fights. What are you most proud of what you've been doing over the years, and what really feel your own? What did you bring of yourself in all of these personal challenges which have characterized you as a woman who was always in the forefront, I would say? Thank you so much.
Well, as you know, Elizabeth Taylor started the American Foundation for AIDS Research. But 3 years after she started it, she became too unwell to continue it, and I took her position. I thought that I would be there also for 3 years, and then I was there for decades. I had this idea, I imagined that we would resolve the AIDS crisis in another 3 years. But decades later, we were able to change the reality of the AIDS crisis. It was very, very, very difficult, very challenging, very much without the support. Well, let's just look at it this way. COVID is also a virus, like HIV/AIDS. When COVID happened on a global scale, we had a vaccine like that. It was a test vaccine, it was fast, it was dangerous, it didn't work for everybody, but it worked for the majority of people. We did not ever get a vaccine for HIV/AIDS, but 40 million people died of AIDS. Now there is medicine as readily available as aspirin that you can take so that you do not have a viral load of HIV. You can appear to be HIV negative, which is a huge global accomplishment. But it took decades of private funding, decades of private citizens working for themselves. So we did it, but we didn't do it with the kind of support that globally we should have had when we had a global viral crisis. This is the lack of empathy and compassion that can happen when people decide, I like you better than I like you. When we become racist, when we become homophobic, when we become gender defiant, when we become hateful to another person in our society. We allow virus, basic virus, we choose that that's just, we're not going to take care of a virus. COVID, we took care of because we didn't delineate who got it. This is an irrational behavior. We have to behave rationally when it comes to viral illness. If it's a bacteria, we take antibiotics. If it's a virus, we need a vaccine, right? We just have to be logical, not personally opinionated about viruses. It's illogical. It doesn't make any sense. It's not scientific. What I learned was you have to look at the person next to you, which is something I'd like you to do right now. I'd like you to turn and look to the person next to you. And what I'd like you to do is look at their ear. Their ear. Because when they were little, when they were a baby, you thought their ear was the most amazing thing you'd ever seen. You thought their foot was unbelievable. You wanted to put it in their mouth. You thought that baby was unbelievably adorable. And if you saw that person sitting next to you and they were a baby, you would think it was the cutest thing you ever saw. Now I want you to look at the person next to you and still think they are the cutest thing you ever saw. Please do that.
We will.
Right now, you two, look over there. You're all so cute, but you forgot. You forgot. You forgot. You just forgot. You have to remember. You have to remember each other.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you very much for... We will give a date to everybody at 2 o'clock in a movie theater. Sharon and I, Sharon, will introduce again the screening of The Quick of the Dead. We thank Sharon Stone.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So interesting.